Jay and Dr. Charlene Johnson. Thank you all for listening to Can't Catch a Break on this lovely Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025. Thank you all. Y'all might be at work or at home, relaxing, whatever, but I just come to you live. Yes, I'm coming to you live from Can't Catch a Break. All right. If you'd like to subscribe, go ahead. If you want to poll us, feedback is very important. I want to hear from you. We be talking about a lot of different issues, things that goes on in life. So it's good because that way we can be part of the solution and not part of the problem. So I thank you all. And on today, I have a good, good episode. All right. Good episode. But first, I want to give a big out shout out to you for thanking you for like the big picture. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And for those first time listeners, thank you all also. Yes. Okay, I want to talk about something today that's very kind of, people much don't talk about it, but, because of the different times we live in, it changes. But I want to talk about something very, very important, okay? Uh, Now, I want to talk about your neighbors. Meet your neighbors. Meet your neighbors. Now, some people say, well, I don't want to meet my neighbors because they may be some kind of weirder, you said word, weird people, or they might, be some kind of, serial killers or something. And today, we don't have see how times have changed. Well, we do. We don't. Some people in some areas, you don't know who's on your block, who's staying on the block you live in. You see people that you barely see them, you don't see them, you don't know unless you live there for over 20 years, 30 years. And you live in that same block. But people move in and move out from all over. But it's good to pay attention though. Find out about your surroundings. Who is who? Uh, the seven W's. Find out who, what, when, where, and what. Just find out things. Because it's very important who live on your block. And I find that different the different times because the skeptic of people being violent and things and weird and stuff. So people usually because of COVID-19, all that took place. So I could see the hesitant being hesitant and not wanting to meet your neighbors. Okay, now most neighbors now are well, it's predominantly now it's a mix of different people from all walks of life when it comes to uh, different races. Okay, different ethnic backgrounds, cultures. These are things you in your neighborhood now. Now, I just want to say, if you are a neighbor living on a block, it's good to let people see you. Not to just put yourself out there. Just put yourself out there, but just let know people you're around and you're paying attention because we're in a dangerous time right now. We got people that's on these blocks, that we don't even know. Some of us, don't even know. We have people move in and move out, but we have people that will stay in the house. You never see them on the day. They might come out at night, or they might come out early in the morning, or they might use go out the back way of the entry of their house. But do we know these people? Do we know the persons? Do we know? See, that's the thing is, and most of the time, the data, information and data, they're not going to tell you who you have on your block unless you look it up. Or if you have any people in your block that had committed crimes, that's serious crimes. I'm talking about like felonies, like that, like you know, child molesters, pedophiles. They said. So you got to be careful because as a racial, as we know now, as time has changed, how they housing them on different blocks in the area you live in, and they're so just want you to be aware, especially kids going to school like that. I'm standing on the bus stop, in your area. Pay attention. I don't care how bad the area look. Do pay attention to your children. There's a lot of things happening. We see on the news. We see in social media where kids are being snatched. Okay, so be paying attention. But to get to know your neighbor, and like I say, in this instance, you might have some people that are, you know, on here that can't come around children. You gonna have those on your block. Now you thought you wasn't. Oh, yes, you will, because the courts, the probation, although they send them when they get released out of jail, they send them on these blocks in different neighborhoods, but they don't tell you unless you look up the data. You know, I'm not here to be controversial or anything. I'm not here just stating the facts of what I've been reading, what I been reading up on. Now, and moving in areas, sometimes when people move in a nice area, they're excited, they're happy. That's good. That's good. But it's something, and we see now the neighbors, they not, there's some areas where neighbors are more friendly. They'll come out and greet you or have, like that. And some areas where we consider like the low income areas and areas of that, they don't come out. I mean, people don't come out and greet because of the first they think of because of violence or something, but it's not like that either. So I want to, because people, that's the mindset of some people, thinking that every because someone living low income, that everybody on there is violent or has something. No, no, no. There's people that work. There's people that go to church. There's people that go to school. They still go to universities. There's people that talk their kids to school. There's people that are doing something else. A a normal citizen, a well behaved, a taxpayer, they doing something. Okay, so don't look at low income like that. I just want to, because that's the first team. You look at low income areas that seem like they have the most degrading when it comes, but everybody's not like that. They just need some help, resources when it comes to their community. Lighting, construction has been done, sidewalks improvement. Abandoned houses torn down some areas. They need that. They need trash cleanups. They need stuff like that. They need trees cut, and the city is the one supposed to, as long as on their territory, their property outline, they supposed to be doing that. Because there should be money allocated through the city to help communities, especially when you have leaders in your council people, elected officials that's supposed to be doing it. Yeah, there's money out there for that. And they're supposed to be doing that. If they're not doing it, then there should be some calls made. I just wanted to share and enlighten people how and some I know y'all know, some of y'all all know, you know. I just want to enlighten you on that. Now it is, it's good to be a friendly neighbor. It's good to, wave or talk to people. Um, and hey, how you doing and stuff. I mean, like that. Find your surroundings, your next door neighbor. Who's who. Because one day that neighbor someone could be around your house, and by them people, the neighbors next door, each side of you that's working or going to work like you do, they could see some things to tell you, and you can report it to the police. Yeah, so I mean, I know of the fear of those that don't want to meet nobody because of what's happening now. It's a lot of things gonna happen in this world as long as we on this earth. Okay, but here is, we have to be um, able to comprehend that everybody is not violent. Everybody is not committing crimes. Okay, everybody is not crazy. Okay, everybody is not doing things that causes the police to be around them. No. So let's get that clear. Now, the dues, like your neighbor, you know, you're supposed to introduce yourself, right? You know that, right? You're supposed to introduce yourself and your family. If they, I know some people don't do it no more because of things that are happening. Sometimes, uh, if they, like I said, if they ain't too busy and nothing like that, you know, um, you can say hello. That's the first step. I mean, being friendly, and especially in the community. Information is very important because when you start sharing information to one another in the community, it helps when it comes to who's the beat cop, who is the one that patrol area, who is the ones that fix things, such as your lighting, your lights, or your when it comes to the construction of sidewalks, handicap signs. You know, there's people on that block. could know information, have some information when it comes to even getting grants for the community, so to help improve the community. So I mean, those are things that when you start showing yourself friendly and you start knowing people, these are things that communication, information can happen. Now, um, don't be afraid to ask questions, though. And your neighbor, especially if you moved over there and you meet neighbors, they've been over there for 20 years, 20, 30 years, and they have knowledge of what's going on. Don't be afraid. I know some people say, well, yeah, you got to watch some people because these day and time people be want to fight. No, it's not like that. See, that's the mindset of some people. That's not what it is. People are being more careful and skeptical than anything because of the times we're living in. Okay. Um, sometimes if you have a dog and people, want to walk their dogs, um, and go hiking or something. The people in the community have been there and lived there long because you just moved in from town or you moved from the other side of town or whatever, and I mean, they could tell you that, I mean, or even just places of restaurants or drinking coffee or something, that you're not familiar with. They can help you if they've been, like I said, got to be there like those that've been around. Okay. And then be open. I mean, you have to be open. I just want to tell you about being open, though. Okay. Because I'm saying this when I was reading about this because it's very important, and it's good to read. Always read. Always find out information. It's very helpful, because the things that you're searching for and looking for by you reading, and if you can, if you can, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be offensive. It helps finding out information, um, without being open, but don't be some people, like you said, nosy neighbors, don't be a nosy neighbor. Don't be, prowling. They say prowl, looking into trying to find out something. No, sit back and observe. Watch who's around you. Your community, high flow, cars, traffic, people. What do you see most? Look around, okay? Because that's a good way to um, get information and find out the things that is going on in your neighborhood or community. And then, like I say, you can ask about your council person, a person, call them. They have an office, call them. You know, so it can be done. It can be done in your neighborhood. I'm getting things done. You know, taxpayers, they pay for this enhancement of the community when it comes to construction of the sidewalks. When it comes to, it's not on your property. When it comes to curves, and when it comes to fire hydrant lighting, when it comes to tree trimming, and there's things that are not on your property when it comes to that. Okay, abandoned buildings and stuff, that can be addressed too. But communicate. That's what I'm saying. The importance of communicating is very important when you communicate. It's very important. I mean, every day is a day of communicating, but do it effectively. To listen. We have to listen too. Be honest in communication, friendly. Like your neighbors. You have to do that. That's the one way of um, asking in a respectful manner about chatting. So being a new resident, like gesture. Some people, and I'm gonna say this, you see like people bringing in like baked goods, like cookies and all that, being gestures, and some people today, they kind of skeptical eating people cookies and all that now. Okay, and because of the things that happen. And some people, you see it on TV, you see the neighbor run over there bringing cookies. Oh, here's some cookies. Oh, but the thing is, at the same time, now that's this we see it totally different now. It's time change, Um, even like from decoration, stuff like that. Compliment people on their declaration, their flowers, their garden. It looks nice. You happen to just ride by or, walking by the house. Oh, they look nice. Compliments, gestures. Those are people now. And then they ain't gonna say everybody ain't gonna have the same viewpoint. Everybody gonna have different opinions. but you just show gestures, make yourself, you know, noticeable. Are you there? And you get involved. I mean, you gotta get involved. You know, you have to reach out in the community. We these neighborhood housing associations and stuff, different places you see right now. A lot of them really are not being effective because they don't have the resources when it comes to um, things of when it comes to brochures, passing out flyers and stuff like that. Um, you know, the money, the grant money, that can help with these getting out information to the people. These are some of the things that some cities have stopped doing when it comes to the neighborhood housing associations. When it comes to just them giving brochures out or with information on it. And now he's saying you can go online and find that any number from the city, or you can find it online. But when these people come to these meetings, those should be things that they can have to get to the people that live in the community and around the community, so they can have direct contact. So that makes people jobs much easier when they can reach out to a number, a main number. With each department has a dealing from the war department, from the tree trimming, from anything, and the ordinance of the law of the city laws. Or I mean, you need to have those pamphlets, and that and that's why they have these presidents and stuff and neighborhood housing associations. But they need some help. They need help too because they don't have the funds. They don't have the funds, but it takes the community to come together. Okay. And then when they come together, then by them being strong enough, they can do things to help improve, when it comes to they have these meetings sending out mail and sending out information to even to your councilwoman, council person, whoever it is, man or woman. That way you can relay the information back to them, or you can go on the computer and email these people, council people, and the president uh, of the housing association just need to communicate, with the people, let them get involved. There's a lot of things that people that live in their houses here have been there in 20 years, some been there 10, 15. But when they go to these meetings, they have questions about a lot of things, and the president of the NIA or Neighborhood Housing Association, I just names, could help. Okay, they could help. Okay, and that way, by you joining, by you helping in associations, you're forming a more stronger bond and reaching. And when it comes to the council person, the stronger you are, the more the representation you'll get. Because I've seen where when people don't come together and they don't meet up in meetings, then this what happens. Okay, so you have to find people that your committee or board, which neighborhood housing, they do have, but it's gonna take people to bond together. Um, to find out roles where they can seek out revenues to reach the city here that you live in. So you have the ear of those leaders, so they can start doing some things. Because some of them they do, some of them don't. If you don't stay in communication with them, they'll just go to something else. And when your neighborhood community thing, you have it. It's like wow, did anybody show up? Where the people at? How come they not coming? Yeah, so you have to bring uh, a motivation. You have to bring encouragement. You have to talk about things in effective manner that you can reach people in a way where everybody can be involved to a point where you can be stronger. You can get the ear of those leaders in the city. And the thing is, just try to be friendly. Not all good neighbors. They're not gonna You know, some people are not pet lovers. Dogs. You might have a dog. I mean, they're making all the noise. You might have a neighbor that don't like that. But make sure you respect your boundaries by making sure that dog is kept at a fence on a chain where don't nothing happen. Okay. So some people really don't like cat animals. They don't like dogs. But you're gonna have that. But the thing is, you just continue on being a friendly person. You are, in the community. Get to know everybody. Know your area, know your community, know who's around you, who's coming through your community. Know about that. Know from the mailman to those to the light company that drives through to the water company to you name it. Repairs that you can see visuals on us around you. And keep up with the news, keep up with the reporting of things that when it comes to even just crime in your neighborhood or things that way you can be aware. See, that's the thing is people don't be aware, but stuff could be happening right around the corner from them. Like either if they wasn't informed, they didn't see the news, or they wasn't informed. About so it's best to pay attention. You have to pay attention. Some people will host a housewarming party. Some people will. You got some ones that really are friendly like that, but they ain't scared. They just trying to hey, get the neighbors. They'll do it. I mean, they want to be friends. They want to know the neighbors. They want to do things in the community. So that's a great way to start. Yeah. Um, Make sure your door fixtures and all that stuff are working, especially with the seniors and all that, because we see people are we got a lot of scammers out here uh, that are breaking in houses and stuff. And it's a lot of stuff. Make sure your porch and garage lights, all that stuff is on. Lighting is very important at night. So that way they can see your address, they can see who's on your porch, they can see who's on the side of your house when you have good lighting. You need to get you some solar power lighting. I mean, it's very little now. You can buy those that sticks on the wall, and stuff. I'm just saying these are security mechanisms to help people in the community. Lighting is very important. There are some areas in the city you may live in, it's dark. Not a street pole, lighting pole. It's dark, but you need lighting because you have a lot of unwanted presence at nighttime that could come. So you want to be heads up. The thing is, you have to when it comes to these. I'm just making a list of those do's and don'ts. Uh, um, be true, noteworthy of your neighbors. Okay. Holidays. Sometimes people even give a card or they give cookies or something for holidays. They'll do that. So sometimes you have people that ain't gonna even have food in their house. You're a neighbor that know them, and some people are so can be shame, embarrassing, or prideful. You even ask for help, but you could know because you know them neighbors for like 5 and 10 years, and things happen. I mean, reality happens, but you can help struggling neighbors. People that are a little low on food. Okay, all right, a little low on food, and some people are too prideful. We gonna get that too, to ask for help or trying to move a big box refrigerator or something, or and you need help. Okay. Some people don't. I mean, really, you can offer your help, but some people a tree, a branch, a tree, something, or some chairs or something. I mean, really. I mean, you can do that if you're in shape, you're in good health. Nothing wrong with you. Um, Offer help. But some people they don't do that. But and then some people will turn you down and say, "No, I don't need you," because the box of things or they got or whatever is too heavy. But you don't want to see neighbors like that. They're struggling to pick up things. You want to help if you can. That's what I'm saying. If you can, if you're in health and you're okay and you're all right with it, and go help. And parking. The thing is, we talk about parking. Parking is another thing. That parking is something that when people are parking, um, you got to park right. Make sure you're not blocking nobody's entryway, driveway. Make sure that's very important. People be respectful. Don't block the driveway. Okay. Park right. Don't park sticking out. Police will give you a ticket if you sticking out too far in the street. Because another car will come hit you. So be mindful of your neighbors parking and each other's and respect it. Um, and even just selling disputes. Okay, um, help out. Just be encouraging. When it comes to things that happen, just be mindful and look at the situation and try and work with a person. It's something that can happen, but it's good to talk about. Don't be asking for too many favors. Begging, that's another thing. Begging is one of them. People beg a lot, and they do. You might have some. Okay, let's keep it real. You might have a neighbor that's somebody under the influence of other drugs or alcohol. Let's keep it real, okay? So they know you're a good neighbor. They know you have, so they're coming over asking you for favors and favors and favors. And those are things that you don't want, because that does cause a breakup of friends, neighbors. So be mindful that you're going to have people like that, but be careful how you handle those ones that are in and caught up in that lifestyle of when it comes to drugs and stuff. You gotta know, and you have to be more territorial and make sure that you're watching yourself, you know, um, and don't be defensive or aggressive. That's another thing. Okay, I mean, don't do that. I mean, I'm quite sure some people are, but like I say, just be wise. You don't have to be aggressive, defensive. Just be respectful. And yeah, and all the noise at night and all that stuff. People gotta go to work in the morning. Don't be staying up late, and having music up blasting, and they have to call the police on you, or car, or somebody driveway or a neighbor's driveway. You don't do that. Okay, so I just wanted to share it with you. All the gossiping, also, they're gonna have that too. You're gonna have some neighbors that are gossiping about each other, about this and that. But don't, if you hear that, you be the mediator, the one that speak positive toward it, so they both can get along, the neighbors toward each other, so you can keep a harmonious environment of peaceful. And that's what you want, peace. Okay, all gossiping, keep away from it. Neighborhood gossips, keep away from it. And the parties and stuff, and the weekends and all that noise, you got to keep all that stuff turned down. People got to work. Everybody's working every day. They going to church on the weekends, stuff like that. So you got to realize that. I guarantee you, you do it that way, you will be surprising how people will really look at you and say, "Wow, those neighbors are good neighbors. They want to help. They want to be friends. They want to help the community." I want to thank you all for listening to Can't Catch a Break. I just want to give you a big cheer note. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah. So thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll tell you, thank you so much. Y'all all, we all in this together. Everyone in the community, you in this together. So just be wise. Get to know your neighbors. Be respectful. Okay. Don't cause, division. Be wise. Respect people property. Okay. All right. Well, thank you all for listening to Can't Catch a Break. Tell me what you think. I want to hear from you. Your feedback is very important. Hey, poll me this or whatever. I want to hear back from you. You want to conversate? Let's conversate for all the podcasts that are out there. These are issues that everybody needs to talk about here. And I know they are talking about different issues, different ones, but let's talk. Hey, I'm talking about the stuff that's going to help us as people, all walks of life. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. Until we meet again, thank you all for listening to Can't Catch a Break. You have a fantastic and a wonderful and a blessed day.